Have you ever stopped speaking English? Not because you didn't know the word, but because your mind suddenly asked, wait, is it be, been, or being?
Yeah, it's like your brain pulls the emergency brake. You're mid-sentence, people are listening, and suddenly everything goes blank.
And the worst part? You actually know English, but these three small words make you silent.
Be, been, being. Tiny words, big freeze.
If that has ever happened to you, this conversation is for you. Hello, and welcome to Speak Unstoppable, a calm English podcast where you don't learn by pressure, you learn by feeling safe.
I'm Joun.
And I'm Maria. And before we go any further, let me say this gently. If you like learning English without fear, without shame, and without being told you're bad at grammar, then you're in the right place.
And if this kind of conversation helps you feel a little calmer, a little more confident, you can like this episode and subscribe to Speak Unstoppable.
No pressure, just so you don't lose this safe space. Okay, let's talk honestly now. People think their problem is grammar, but most of the time, it's not.
Yeah, I've noticed something. When learners write, they're fine. When they listen, they understand. But when they speak, their face changes.
Exactly. Their eyes move up, their voice slows down, and then comes silence. Not because they don't know English, but because they're afraid of choosing the wrong word.
Especially with words like be, been, and being.
Yes, because those words don't just carry meaning, they carry time, and time creates fear. Let me tell you a short story.
Okay, I'm listening.
Imagine a student. Let's call her Sara. Sara understands English pretty well. She watches videos, she listens to podcasts, she even thinks in English sometimes. But one day in class, the teacher asks her a simple question. How has your week been? Sara opens her mouth, and her mind starts racing.
Ben. Oh no.
Exactly. She thinks, should I say, I am tired? I have tired? I have been tired? What if I say it wrong? So instead of answering, she smiles, she nods, and she stays quiet.
That silence hurts more than the mistake.
Yes, because every time Sara stays silent, her brain learns one thing. Speaking English is dangerous. And that belief is far more damaging than any grammar error.
So the problem isn't be, been, or being.
No, the problem is what those words represent in her mind. They represent judgment. They represent embarrassment. They represent past moments where someone corrected her too hard, or laughed, or made her feel small.
So every time she sees those words, her body reacts before her brain does.
Yes, her shoulders tighten, her breath changes, and English stops flowing. This is why today we are not going to teach grammar rules.
Wait, no rules at all?
No rules, no tense charts, no remember this formula. We're going to talk about these words the way humans actually use them.
That already feels better.
Because language is not a test, it's a tool for connection. And when you understand why your mind freezes, the words slowly stop feeling scary.
So where do we start?
We start by slowing everything down. No rushing, no proving anything, just noticing. Because be, been, and being are not enemies. They're just misunderstood. And if you're listening right now and you've ever felt like Sara, silent, stuck, afraid to choose the wrong word, you're not broken. You're not bad at English. You're just human. And in this conversation, we're going to make English feel human again. Let's continue with Sara's story for a moment. She stayed silent that day, but later, at home, she tried to speak English with her notebook open.
Ah, so she was trying to fix it on her own.
Yes, but here's the thing. She didn't just make mistakes with words, her brain kept asking questions. Is it be, been, or being? And that small hesitation grew bigger each time she spoke.
I think so many learners feel the same. Even if they know the words, their mind just freezes.
Exactly. And that's what we need to explore today. Because once you understand why your brain freezes, you can start speaking again without fear.
So let's start with be. I feel like beginners think it's simple, but it's not really, right?
No, it's simple, but its simplicity can trick you. Be is about intention, dreams, advice, and choices, not the past, not the moment, not perfection. For example, Sarah's mother tells her, "Be patient with yourself."
Ah, that's different from I am patient, right?
Yes, "I am patient" describes reality. Be patient is a choice, a direction, a mindset. It's gentle guidance. And learners often forget this because they focus on rules, not meaning.
So be is like a whisper of possibility?
Exactly. And here's a tiny story. Sarah wanted to speak confidently in class. She said to herself quietly, "I want to be confident today." And even before speaking, something shifted inside her. She didn't need perfect grammar, she just needed a mental permission slip.
I love that. Mental permission slip. It's small, but it's powerful.
Yes, that's why be works beautifully in life moments. Parents, friends, teachers, they don't just tell facts, they offer guidance. Be yourself. Be kind. Be careful. These aren't rules, they are feelings turned into words, and learners respond to feelings first.
And then there's been, which always seems to confuse people more.
Yes, been is about experience, past moments that still matter, effort, and reflection. Let's continue Sarah's story. She tried speaking at home. "I have been studying English for 2 years." It wasn't perfect. She hesitated. She almost said, "I am been." But then she remembered. Been is about what has happened, not what is happening now.
Ah, so been needs a companion, like have or has?
Yes, been never stands alone. It's like a word that always wants a friend. "I have been tired." "I have been practicing." It tells your listener why you feel or think something now.
So in a way, been carries your story, not just your words.
Exactly. Sarah realized this slowly. She said out loud, "I have been nervous speaking English." Even with a tiny hesitation, it mattered. The moment she said it, she acknowledged her effort. It's a bridge from fear to action.
And then there's being, which is tricky because it's about now, right?
Yes, being is about temporary behavior, current actions, change, and emotional nuance. For example, Sarah finally spoke to a classmate. "I'm being honest. I sometimes freeze in class." Notice how she doesn't say, "I am honest," permanently. Being tells us about this moment, this behavior, this situation.
It makes language feel alive, not rigid, not judgmental.
Exactly. Being lets you notice change. "It's being difficult today." "You're being quiet." These sentences communicate reality gently without labeling anyone forever.
So when learners confuse be, been, and being, it's not just grammar, it's fear of time, experience, and change.
Yes, and here's what I tell Sarah and anyone listening softly. Even if you pause, even if you stumble, even if you say the wrong word, you are practicing English correctly. Because silence teaches your brain fear, speaking teaches your brain freedom.
That's powerful. And I think learners forget that. They think mistakes are permanent.
Yes, mistakes are temporary companions. They show that you're trying. They are proof of effort, not failure. Sara learned that each time she corrected herself softly, she grew a tiny bit more confident.
And that confidence builds, slowly, quietly, but steadily.
Exactly. One sentence a day, one moment a day, one choice a day to speak instead of staying silent.
And that's where be, been, and being become real, right? Not just words, but tools for feeling, thinking, and connecting.
Yes, Sara started using them without thinking. I want to be brave today. I have been learning for a long time. I'm being honest when I speak now. 3 tiny words, 3 different ways to express herself, and each one helped her slowly break fear.
So it's not magic. It's consistent, small steps practiced in real life.
Exactly. And here's what I want listeners to remember. Be equals choice, advice, dreams. Been equals experience, effort, past moments that matter. Being equals current behavior, temporary feelings, change.
And the moment you understand this, English stops feeling scary. It becomes a way to express life, not just rules.
Yes, Sara still makes small mistakes. She still freezes sometimes. But now, she pauses, takes a breath, and speaks.
And that pause is no longer fear. It's control. It's awareness.
Exactly. And if you're listening and thinking about your own moments, take one small step today. Say even one sentence out loud, even if it's, I have been practicing English today. Even if it's, I want to be brave today. Even if it's, I'm being honest with myself now.
And that one sentence, it's the start of freedom. It's the start of Speak Unstoppable English.
Because English is not about perfection. It's about connection. It's about showing up even when the words feel small or scary.
And when you do that, the next word comes easier. The next sentence flows. The next conversation feels natural.
So take that moment. Use be, been, and being like Sara did. Feel them, practice them, allow mistakes, and notice the small changes. Because small changes add up quietly until one day English feels human. Let's take Sara's story further. She's now trying to speak with a friend, not just alone.
This is where real-life pressure starts.
Exactly. Because in life, people don't pause for grammar charts. Your friend doesn't care about rules. They care about what you're trying to say. And that's when be, been, and being become alive.
So, how did Sara handle it?
She decided to be brave. Her friend asked, "How's your week been?" Sara felt that familiar pause. Been, being, be, all jumbled.
Oh yes, that pause again.
But this time, she tried something new. She remembered what we talked about. Been is experience, being is current, be is choice. So she said softly, I have been learning English every day, and I'm being more confident now.
Wow, 2 words in one sentence. And it felt natural?
Yes, she noticed something magical. The moment she spoke, her fear didn't disappear completely, but her connection with her friend stayed alive. The words worked because they reflected her life, not a rule.
So, real-life English is really about feeling safe enough to speak imperfectly.
Exactly. Let me show another small situation. Imagine a student in a coffee shop. He wants to ask someone for directions. He knows he should say, "Could you please tell me?" But then he freezes. His mind shouts, be, been, being. Panic.
And what usually happens?
He ends up mumbling, smiling nervously, or staying silent. Now, if he understood the time-feeling connection of these words, he could just say, I'm being careful with my English, but can you help me?
That feels alive, not forced, not fake.
Exactly. Being shows this moment, your intention, your honesty. And notice, no tense charts, no grammar stress, just feelings.
And what about be in real life?
B often shows choice, direction, and advice. A manager says, be professional today. A parent says, be kind. A friend says, be yourself. Notice, it's not about the past or the future. It's a soft command, a gentle nudge, a way to navigate life.
And then been is about experience?
Yes, Sarah could say, I have been working on my pronunciation this week. It shows effort, time spent, commitment. It's past action that still matters now. And that's why beginners often panic. They forget been is a story, not a test.
Ah, it makes sense. It's like each word carries a different kind of energy.
Exactly. Be equals energy of choice. Been equals energy of experience. Being equals energy of this moment.
So if someone says, I am been happy today, that's wrong, right?
Yes, but it's not about punishment. It's just a gentle reminder. Been needs a companion. It wants have or has, and being wants am, is, or are. Once you notice that, your brain stops panicking. It starts predicting the feeling instead of fearing the word.
And once the brain stops panicking, confidence grows naturally?
Yes, and small, real-life exercises help. Say one sentence each day. Notice the moment. Notice your effort. Notice the change in behavior.
Like Sarah, each tiny step made her less afraid?
Exactly. And she even started teaching herself gently. I want to be brave. I have been practicing every day. I'm being honest in this conversation. 3 sentences, 3 different ways to express life, 3 ways to communicate without fear.
And what about mistakes in real life?
Mistakes are proof of trying. Silence is proof of fear. Sarah made mistakes every day. Sometimes she said, I am been. Sometimes she swapped words, but she kept speaking.
And that's what really matters. Not grammar perfection, not flawless sentences. Speaking, trying, feeling.
Yes, and when you connect these words to life experiences, to feelings, to moments, to effort, you stop thinking of them as scary rules. You start thinking of them as tools for real communication. Exactly. Sarah is still learning, still making mistakes, but each word now has a purpose. Be guides her choices. Been explains her story. Being reflects her moment. And together, they allow her to speak, even when fear whispers.
And that's the real power of these tiny words.
Let's continue with Sarah's journey. She's practicing every day, but mistakes still happen, and that's okay. Really okay.
Mistakes are still scary for most learners, though. Even Sarah hesitates sometimes, right?
Yes, but here's the shift. Now, when she says something wrong, she doesn't panic. She pauses, corrects herself softly, and continues. She realizes silence is worse than a mistake.
And that pause, it's no longer fear, it's awareness. Awareness of choice, experience, and moment.
Exactly. And let's talk about tiny daily exercises. Even one sentence a day can transform confidence.
Like,
For example, Sarah chooses one word each morning: be, been, or being. She says a sentence out loud. I want to be brave today. I have been practicing my pronunciation this week. I'm being honest with myself right now.
and that tiny effort, it builds momentum.
Yes, each small sentence is a victory, and over time, Those sentences create a habit of confident speaking. Sara starts noticing she's less afraid to speak in class, with friends, even online.
And the beauty is, mistakes don't stop her anymore.
Exactly. Mistakes are just part of the journey. Think about it. When we learn life skills, we don't aim for perfection. We aim for practice, awareness, and improvement. English works the same way.
And it's emotional too. Be, been, being, they carry feelings, not just grammar.
Yes. Let's explore one last real-life scenario. Imagine Sara at a group discussion. She feels nervous. Her mind whispers, "Is it be, been, being?" She pauses, takes a breath, and says softly, "I have been reading English stories this week, and I'm being careful with my words now."
Wow. And everyone understands her, even if not perfect?
Exactly. Communication matters more than flawless grammar. And notice, she also used all three words naturally: be, been, being.
So the takeaway is, small, intentional use of these words builds both confidence and clarity.
Yes, and here's a subtle tip. When speaking, focus on the feeling behind the word. Be equals your intention. Been equals your experience. Being equals your current behavior. Once you feel it, the words follow naturally.
And when learners connect words to feelings instead of rules,
English stops being scary. It becomes human, expressive, and usable. Sara now notices that even if she hesitates or pauses, she can still express herself. Her sentences aren't perfect, but her confidence grows daily.
and that's what matters most. Not perfection, not avoiding mistakes, speaking, connecting, learning.
Exactly. And small victories compound quietly. "I want to be brave" becomes a mindset. "I have been practicing" becomes effort recognized. "I'm being honest" becomes self-expression.
So each word carries time, intention, and presence. And learners slowly internalize that.
Yes, and for all our listeners today, here's your tiny challenge. Pick one sentence. Use be, been, or being. Say it out loud, even if you stumble, even if it's imperfect. Feel the word. Speak the feeling. Connect with your own journey.
And if you do this every day, even one sentence, your confidence will quietly grow, and mistakes will become stepping stones, not walls.
Exactly. English is not about perfection. It's about presence. It's about courage. It's about connecting your thoughts to the world, even when words feel small.
And when you embrace that, be, been, and being stop being intimidating. They become your companions for daily life.
So remember, be equals your choice, your dreams, your direction. Been equals your effort, your experience, your story. Being equals your actions, your honesty, your current self.
Use them, feel them, speak them. Even one sentence a day makes a difference.
And if you enjoyed this episode, like this video, subscribe to Speak Unstoppable, and join our community of learners. Because here, English is human, safe, and unstoppable.
We'll see you in your next conversation. Keep speaking, keep growing, and remember, mistakes are just steps on the path to fluency.
Goodbye, everyone. Keep practicing, keep feeling, and keep speaking.